Today we'll be making a wardrobe nightlight, which will allow you to see your clothes even when the room lights are off. It has been a great addition to my morning routine, and now I don't have to use my phone's flashlight or turn on the main lights, disrupting my wife. What will you need in order to create your Armoire nightlight? First, you'll need a light strip. I use Govee for my light strips, which use Wi-Fi to connect. They've been super reliable. Second, a window or door contact sensor. For majority of my sensors, I use Aqara devices. And third, you'll need a Habitat hub. I currently have a C7 and C8 Pro, and all my Aqara devices are on the C7, and all my applications are on the C8 Pro. For today's recipe, the first step is to add your devices to their respective apps. Here we'll add the Govee light strip to the Govee app. To add the strip into the Govee app, first open the app. When in the app, tap on the plus sign found in the upper right corner. Then power on your device, and it should be found in the upper box that says Scanning Nearby Devices. But in case it doesn't, find the type of light in the list of devices on the bottom of the page, click the device, and you should then be able to add it. The second step is to pair any apps you will need with your Habitat hub. To do this, you must log into your Habitat hub, click on the Apps section, and choose from either Add Built-in App or Add New App. The app that you'll need to integrate Govee with Habitat is called Govee Integration. Once that's complete, we will be completing our next steps in Rule Machine. The final step is to create the rule, and as you saw, it will be done in Rule Machine. To create a new rule, you will click on Rule Machine, and then a screen will pop up and you will select Create New Rule. You will give the rule a name and then select the trigger event. This is going to be what happens in order for the lights to turn on. Click the green plus sign to create the trigger. You will click under where it says Select Capability for New Trigger Event, and since we are using a contact sensor, you will choose Contact. You will then need to set which contact sensor is being used. This is where naming your devices correctly is quite helpful. I'll be selecting the Armoire Aqara contact sensor on hub number 2. We will talk about hub mesh on another episode. This is what allows me to have devices on a separate hub, but use them in rules on another hub. I will make sure that I have it set to Contact Reports Open for this rule, and will be using Close for the second rule. You can set it with a duration, where the sensor stays open for a certain period of time, but we will not do that here. Click Done with the trigger event, and then click Done with the trigger event once more. You are now finished with that trigger. The next step is to create a new action. This is what will happen once your trigger has been triggered. Click Create New Action, and then select Action Type to add. Since we want the Govee light to turn on, we will select Control Switches, and then we will select which action we want to occur. From the menu, we will select Turn Switches On/Off. There is a toggle to choose whether you're wanting to turn the switch on or off. You can see the change on the toggle as well as in the menu item. Once you have the toggle in the correct position, you will go into the menu and select which light or lights you want turned on. And in my case, I want Daddy's Armoire to get turned on. Click it, and then click Done with Actions. I will click Done. There you have it. Your first rule is now complete. Since I'm going to make 2 rules, one for the light to turn on when the door is open, and the second for when the door closes, I'm going to label this first rule Armoire Nightlight On. Now that the first rule was made, the second should be fairly easy since the only difference is that we'll be setting the toggle to off rather than on. We will begin by clicking on Rule Machine and then creating a new rule, naming it Armoire Nightlight Off, and selecting the trigger event, which is Contact. We will then select the contact sensor that we will be using, and we will change the Contact Report section to Closed rather than Open, because we want the action to happen once the door is closed. Click Done with Trigger Events button. And that will be found right at the bottom. Next, we will select an action. Then click Create an Action and select Control Switches. From there, we'll choose to turn the switches off. In order to do that, we have to click the toggle Turn On or Off so that Off is emboldened. Then you'll choose the switch that you want turned off. You can choose to have a delay, but because this is in a closet, I want the light to shut off as soon as I close the door. Finally, you're going to click the Done with Actions button and then click Done. Now we have two simple rules. One for turning the light on when the contact sensor is open, and another to turn the light off when the contact sensor is closed. We can build it so that these two rules are combined using a conditional action, but for now, we want to keep it nice and simple. Hope you enjoy. Please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, anything you create, if you can share that in the comment section, we'd love it. Have a good week. See you next Monday. Bye.